He noticed she was awake and met her gaze. She thought his eyes cold, but they weren't even that. They were dead, with no flicker of humanity on the other side. She thought she'd seen evil before. The man who had shot her less than 6 hours ago had certainly seemed evil at the time. But she was wrong. That man had been a human making bad decisions. This kid was a psychopath. "Sir," he said evenly into the phone, all the while holding her gaze. "If I mop up this mess, it's over. My cover will be blown." Mop up. He meant kill her. Would he find Claire and kill her too? Oh, God, and there was no way to warn her. Tiffany tried to sit up, but she barely had the strength to lift her head. She opened her mouth, tried to call out, to warn someone, but all that came from between her dry lips was an inhuman moan. Even though she was dying and could feel her body shutting down one process at a time, she still had to try. For Claire's sake. "Yes, sir," the kid said, and then pocketed the phone. He shook his head and produced a gun. This was it, she realized. He'd pull the trigger, and she'd be gone before she even registered the pain. She turned her head slightly, looking for the door, praying nobody walked in and got caught in the crossfire. There was no help for her, but if she could save someone else... Except she and the kid weren't alone in the room. On the queen bed next to hers lay an unconscious blond man in a blood-stained New Orleans Saints t-shirt. She remembered him. Jean-Luc? She'd heard someone call him that during one of her bouts of consciousness. He'd rescued her from the floor of the hotel's lobby, had brought her here to safety in this room. And now he'd died too, all for helping her. She looked at the kid again and choked out, "Please, don't." "Sorry," he said, not sounding the least bit sorry. "You've outlived your usefulness, Dr. Peters." Yeah, that's what he thought. Tiffany sucked in a lungful of air and screamed with everything she had left in her. The sound that tore from her throat was raw, ragged, primal. It was the last thing she ever did, and in the split second before the bullet struck, she hoped it was enough to save the blonde man. Chapter 2. 1 week earlier, Friday, July 17th, Alta, Wyoming. Where the hell was his son? Jesse Warrick took off his Stetson and shielded his eyes against the afternoon glare of the hot Wyoming sun as he scanned the land around the barn. He knew Connor was awake. He'd hoisted the kid out of bed himself. And Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, why was the boy in bed at 3 in the afternoon anyway? But now Connor was nowhere to be seen. Again. Ever since Jesse's ex-wife had shipped their 15-year-old son to the ranch, Connor had been nothing but a pain in the ass. Lacey had all but given up on their son as a lost cause after his most recent run-in with Las Vegas law enforcement. She'd made it clear that she didn't particularly care if he came back because he was corrupting her younger children, as if those kids' well-being was somehow more important than her oldest child. Classic Lacey behavior. As soon as the road got a little bit bumpy, she bailed and went in search of greener pastures. That was exactly what had happened to their marriage. Jesse had really meant his vow of "till death do us part." Lacey had meant something more along the lines of "till I find a better alternative." And she had. Her current husband owned a casino and a couple hotels. But shipping her son away? It was a new low for her. And he still had...